Wow. Oh my goodness. Test, test. Test, test. Stand by. We're going live and wow. Okay, there we go. I think everybody could hear me. I see the mic's working now. Oh, that's the camera mic I got on there, it looks like. All right, test, test. Okay, so anyway, just doing a video kind of recapping what happened yesterday. We met up because we're trying to just make basic ground level connections with other Hebrew Israelite groups out here. We understand that we have doctrinal differences. We're still, I feel like we're in the early parts of, us waking up as a nation. Like I've talked about before, I see a lot of groups and a lot of people, they when they realize they have a difference of opinion, they just write them off and that's that. And there's not, you see a whole ton of division. But like I said, Spiritual Combat reached out to another group here in Jacksonville called the Spirit of Yah, Brother Josiah. He's been in Truth for a while. And we just kind of did a group fellowship Shabbat. And it went good. I mean, we understood going into it, there were going to be differences, but it was very fruitful, iron sharpens iron. So, and the most important thing isn't, because you got a lot of people out here with a ton of Bible knowledge, but no application. And it just turns into people get emotional and it turns into just a big unfruitful falling out and an argument. And like I said, Brother Josiah, he not only knows the word very good and has a lot of experience in the walk and everything like that, but he's applied it to himself to where, where there were disagreements, we worked through them, we discussed them. And everybody in attendance and the people who watched, they said they got a lot out of just our discussion, trying to work through each other's understanding on stuff, and just a lot of scripture was coming out, and it was fruitful. I mean, the thing that must be understood is, and this is the problem, is the talk never happens. People get on it, they get online, they don't know who the heck they talking to, they just debating, going back and forth. And they're just trying to get their point across, and they're not trying to work through anything. But the thing is, when we reached out to Brother Josiah and he reached out to us, we set all this up. We set it all up. First, we met and just got to know each other first. And then we got into whatever, where we weren't seeing each other's side on things, or however you want to say it. We worked through that secondly, but we didn't jump into it as a debate and as a war. We're trying to build. We try to reach common ground. Okay, show me where you're getting this understanding from, all that stuff like that. So, I mean, and like I said, no nobody believes the exact same thing, but we're trying to work towards a better understanding. And just fruitlessly debating without kind of building with your brothers and sisters, that's not going to work. It has to, there's a whole process to it. And I think a lot of the issues we see among Hebrew, well, I know a lot of issues we see among Hebrews out here, these wars and debates, is a lot of it comes from them not trying to reach common ground. A lot of it comes from their lack of application of books like Proverbs and Ecclesiasticus, which these are books that teach brotherhood, but you could just go on. You don't have to look far to find the lack of application of this with so-called Hebrew Israelites. They got the doctrine down, like I said, and I don't claim to be the all-knowing. I mean, I was learning from. I learned a lot yesterday, and I'm still learning a lot today. I was watching a video. One of my brothers sent me, Debrew sent me this morning. He sent me a good video further elaborating on some of the stuff we were discussing yesterday. But, back to what I was saying is like the main reason why you don't see productive unity among our people is, like I said, lack of application of Proverbs and Ecclesiasticus, and like I said, that's a good starting point. I'm not saying that's all, but them books teach brotherhood and sisterhood and how to get along in relationships, and you don't see it, man. Like we were talking about yesterday with Brother Josiah, we see a lot of people online it's about them. It's not about Yah. It's not about getting along with their brothers and sisters. It's about them edifying themselves and their knowledge and all that stuff like that. So, but yeah, but it was a step in the right direction. I'm trying, and this is the other thing. It's easy to learn all this book knowledge. It's just read, it's repetition, read and study and repetition. And it's broken down into digestible pieces with a lot of teaching that's out there. There's great teachers that go deep into the book. You got people like Divine Prospect out there. And I forget the other brother from Virginia. But there's a bunch of brothers out there breaking this stuff down so you can learn this stuff quick and get a good understanding of the word. And it's going to get easier to get a good understanding of this word. There's some differing opinions and more and more truths coming out. Like, let me see if I could. Well, I've been having crazy technical difficulties the past couple of days. It's funny. I'm trying to get the screen to come up, but it won't come up. Maybe I could pull it up on here. Yeah, I got it right here. Like I said, the truth, the truth's coming out, and new information's coming out all the time. If you go to Hebrew Nation Builders, they I forget this brother's name now, but just go to go on YouTube, go to Hebrew Nation Builders or Hebrew Nation Building, okay? And the title of this brother's show is Saving Shaul, the Truth About Romans, Part 5, and it says Part 5, 6. So I guess this is Part 5 and 6, kind of. Faith of Abraham. So look that one up. He bringing out new pictures and new information coming out of Russia, coming out of China, these paintings and stuff like that. And just breaking the scripts down real good. So new information's coming out, stuff like that, new understanding. But not to get off track, this information, that's not the hard part of getting this information. The hard part is the brotherhood, because that requires interchange. That requires people to change in order to apply that. You know, it's hard. It takes more spiritual development to be able to have a righteous discussion with your brother without going all ignorant. And like me and brother Josiah was saying, we were watching some online comments in some discussions on some of the videos I've done, other ones we've seen around, where people get prideful and ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And then the whole discussion becomes unfruitful, because then it's about them being right. So, and it didn't get like that yesterday. It was very fruitful. You know, it's a good discussion. A lot of truth came out. And, you know, like I said, we're trying to get to the point where we could have a good model for, you know, us coming together as a nation, sitting down and actually having these discussions, not just, oh, assuming this brother's this way, I ain't even reaching out, I ain't even talking to this cat. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I talked to a brother to ISUPK Florida down here. Those are righteous, wise brothers. Now, a lot of people disagree with their doctrine and stuff like that, but how many people have reached out and talked to them and sat down, and instead of just sitting back, oh, they all forget them, I ain't dealing with them, you know? You got to reach out, and you don't have to do it in public. Just reach out behind the scenes and talk to them and see where they're really at and why they saying what they're saying. I mean, you owe them at least that. You owe anybody out here at least that. So if I feel like somebody's teaching something and it's off, eventually I'm going to reach out, sit down, talk with them, and see where we can reach some common ground. And if you reach out, sit down, talk to them, and you just determine, you know what, they too off for me to really be dealing with it on that level and fellowshipping with and rocking with and all that, then okay, that's cool. But it's a lot better than being a keyboard warrior, prideful keyboard warrior, typing all this stuff online, and you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, yeah, hopefully we can do more of this with the spirit of Yah and with a lot of other Hebrew Israelites out here in Jacksonville and wherever else they're at. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, I'm not closed off or shutting out anybody. You know, I can sit down and talk to anybody like a man. And just real talk. Look, I done talk at my job and here in the South and stuff. I done talk to neo-Nazis. I done talk to straight up, no joke, racists. You know, I done talk to Satanists. And it's not a shouting match. I mean, I know I ain't rocking with them, but I'm man enough and I'm not in my emotions to the point where I can't have a conversation with them. But anyway, you know, that's how that went yesterday. It was very fruitful. Hopefully we could do more, and hopefully not just me and spiritual combat. Hopefully just not me and my group of people doing more. Hopefully it's everybody. This is across the board. Everybody starts reaching out to each other, because, you know, I'm telling you, man, the past 2 weeks, I've seen a whole bunch of division. I ain't going to say a whole bunch of division. I've seen a whole bunch of areas where we can be more well connected, and so we can really come together as a nation. And I say come together as a nation where we can begin working together in a, not just because like the only contact and where people come together at is just debating in comments, as opposed to coming together economically, you know, because even if this dude got a whole bunch of stuff I disagree with, to the point where I don't want to really fellowship with his ministry or anything, I should still be able to do business with this dude, or, you know what I'm saying, come together on that most basic level. And I keep saying this because I hate going into these, you know, these other nations, man. I hate doing business with them. I'd rather do business with my people. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this is Mike. You're watching Spiritual Combat. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a nice day. Okay. So, stop streaming. There we go. All right. And we're going to stop this one. Boom.